people are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Do not come. Do not come. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat, our Sunday night shit show, starting a minute late. Pat, how are you holding up, my friend?
I'm going to have a meltdown, but fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, it's so funny. I feel like I talk about it all the time, not to betray you. Why is the font so small? Big. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. Is that how we normally do it? Or do you like it tall?
That's it.
No, that's horrible.
I like it down below.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nope. Oh, there we go. Look at me learning all the buttons. Yeah, Pat has, as far as I know, 2 OCD issues. One is we have to start the second it turns 5 o'clock. The second.
I try to time it like you're pumping the gas to end on $20 exactly. I try to hit the button because you have to time it. You can't just say it starts at 12. You have to hit the button and it takes like 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm always like, can I get it? So it's more a personal challenge than anything.
I really understand that. I too suffer from OCD, and actually being on time is one of the things. That one on this moment doesn't bother me quite so much, but I get it. But also the wheel. With the wheel is ever if it's not aligned perfectly.
That one, yeah.
Normally, I am the OCD person on every other thing, like alphabetizing, making sure everything's in order, punctual for sure, like you, but yes. So anyway, we are here. Hello. Happy end of the empire. 250 years was a good run.
Yeah. This 250 could not have summed up our country any harder. Just the disasters around the country and, obviously the fair, which
the fair was the perfect embodiment of everything. I was going to say of everything wrong with the country, but what it missed was the oligarchs, right? Like, don't you think?
Yeah, they weren't a part of it at all, really. Right?
Yeah, like that. This does feel like an enormous distraction where everybody's like, oh my God, it's so crazy and what's happening and it wasn't run well and the proud or whatever, the Nazi patriot people and all that kind of stuff. But the real stuff is still happening just the way it has been planned to happen.
But I think it is telling that they couldn't even pull off this little parade for their people. Like it made them look like they didn't care about their people and then run them all out of there with the rain and then just disaster after disaster.
People like on life support on the 3rd. I know we're going to get into all this, but there were like 7 or 8 people on life support on the 3rd, and then they're like, okay, we're closing the fair. We'll reopen at 5 p.m. But the whole point with this wet bulb summer and how hot it is that it's not cooling off at night. So what's going to change at 5 p.m.? All of a sudden, you're going to have some kind of protection for everybody. Like, it's so ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
America.
Okay, let's do our cheers, because in spite of all of the devastation, there are a lot of regular people to celebrate who are standing up, against a genocide, against their government, and against data centers, against the oligarchs, all of that. So, cheers to this woman. She was a fan of the Morocco football team, soccer team, playing against Haiti in Atlanta. And she is also a supporter of Palestinian liberation.
Don't take that word. I'm walking out. Let's go. Let's go. Don't take that word. I'm walking out. Let's go.
I mean, so cool that she was doing that, and so cool that the people down below and around her who saw it was happening broke into a chant of Free Palestine, right?
And that's happening at every game.
Yeah.
Everyone around the world is letting the U.S. know to free Palestine.
How are we responding to that? Jesus
Ignoring it.
Christ. It's just crazy. Okay. Before I start crying, we will. So cheers to her. Cheers to them for sure. Look at how that lined up, Pat.
That
Come
made
on.
me happy. That did cheer me up a little bit.
All right. Okay, I will take it. I can always use a little more. 1 second. 1 second. Oh. All right. What do we got?
This was courtesy of Truth to Tweet, I believe. If cats took over.
We got plenty of food for everyone.
Pat, I feel bad that you said it was from Truth because I have a feeling you didn't check that it was AI. That's pretty obviously
Is that
AI.
AI?
Oh, come on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
What? Really?
What?
Did I? But I saw it looked corny with like the cat tower in the street. That can't be a. Really?
I don't know. I'm going to divert
I don't-
everybody and say this was also an amazing moment.
Wow.
The Egyptian coach waving the Palestinian flag and then watching people celebrating in Gaza as that was happening was so cool. Like, that was really beautiful. I was very, very impressed. And, you know, that I think meant a lot to a lot of people. Truth, I'm sorry. I'm calling you out. I'm calling Pat out. I think I might just be in an ornery mood. Can you tell? This was the drink I did have, though. It's the Reflecting Pool stained with the blood of Empire. What do you think?
Nice. You pulled it off.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was good. It was a little too sweet for me.
Okay.
But that was my drink. And thank you, Truth, for asking about that also. Yes, we did a lot of day drinking on I don't know, this weekend. Did you celebrate at all?
I just watched Americans burn themselves with fireworks and shit like that. Mostly. I've never seen so many videos of people hurting themselves with fireworks. I mean, social media, it's like, did you do it on purpose to get the clip out there? Because like, now you can't see.
Yeah. I mean, it is so dangerous. It's so crazy. Maybe thanks, Truth. Maybe and yes, Zizou, he dedicated the win to Palestine. Yeah, that was really beautiful.
All right.
Maybe-
Well, since that may have been AI, I feel like we owe them a little something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here's a quick short RMI to set the tone and we'll get started.
Beautiful.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
Shut up, Jerry. Shut up, Jerry. Shut up, Jerry. Shut up, Jerry. Jerry says Palestinians do not exist. I wonder if he feels that way about age of consent laws. What's the matter with Jerry? I wonder what went wrong. He was the least funny person on his own sitcom. What's the matter with Jerry? Was he ever really funny? Barely. Maybe he's mad because he knows he owes his whole career to Larry. Tens of thousands of children dead. Jerry Seinfeld sleeps in his bed. Billionaire and he's 72 and he's really got nothing better to do.
That's awesome.
Just a little
Shut
dig.
up, Jerry. Shut
Yeah.
up. What a disgusting person. Oh my God, I hadn't even thought of that. Hand surgeons make a fortune this week. And eye surgeons possibly, but yes, oh, gross. Awful. And yes, he is a Zionist pig. 100p disgusting. Sorry, he's never been funny. I don't like that Friends TV show either. Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy going back and looking at all of the Hasbara on Friends. There's somebody who has been posting like all the different times that they had either digs against Muslims or Arabs or somebody from the Middle East, or they're like, praising IDF soldiers and how hot they are. And it's just,
You know what that reminds me? I just watched OAN a lot over the weekend. I don't know why I had this twisted. I'm going to watch OAN, and then they're recommending this movie, and they had the director on, and it's what do you call it?
Oe Bull guy. Oe Bull.
Yes, the movie about the vigilante.
Yeah.
And so I watched the movie because I'm like, let's see how disgusting this is. And this whole movie about this guy who takes revenge. They don't even have his origin story. They never explain why he became this guy, but he hates Muslims taking over the country. It's shot in Europe, but he's an American going after immigrants. He kills their like whole family, like people that weren't even involved in the crime. And this guy on OAN, the Christian nationalist thing, is telling people to go watch this movie.
Because he takes out Muslims.
Because he takes out Muslims and they blame immigrants directly. They keep going to the news shows, little clips of the media talking about it. It's such an immigrant problem. And then they go to the street and talk to people, and they're swiping on TikTok and whatnot. And it's all these people saying, yeah, they're really, all these immigrants are coming, and I'm so happy the vigilante's taking them out. And I mean, it's the grossest fucking movie. Anyone involved in that movie needs to have their career canceled, period. Full stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I need to look up who actually made that movie, but that's disgusting. I've only read about it. It is interesting to me, a couple of things. One is the people who are so racist, especially against Muslims, are becoming very anti-Zionist, right? And then I will see things like the thing that we showed with Megyn Kelly against Haitians coming here and how like disgustingly racist she was. And then just yesterday, somebody pointed out that all of these like MAGA, Groyper, newfound anti-Zionists wrote the almost exact same post that all of these anti-Zionists are making me have a newfound love of Israel. It's just, the whole thing feels like an enormous psyop.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. It's like, I don't know. I was really disturbed by that movie. It's just,
yeah, I'm gonna.
And the guy, he kills a million cops too. Like he just invites them all up into this room and then just opens up gunfire on them.
It's kind of like half good, half bad. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But I know. But for OAN, the Law and Order thing, like they're like, well, that's okay because it was all about, you got to fight back against the Muslims.
Well, it's like how they're, I mean, they do that with January 6th. They do that with our military. Like, oh, you have to venerate the military. They cancel Colin Kaepernick, but then they are fine, like arresting vets who are protesting, right? Like they just don't have a consistent ideology at all.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. But that's really gross. I've heard about that movie, and that's crazy that they're talking about it over and over. Very interesting. All right. Well, let's just check in since we did have a few days of watching Trump's management of the 250th birthday celebration. Starting, well, we showed a few different things going haywire. The people, fainting, taking dips in the syphilis pool, the Confederate flags, the lack of crowds, the scaffolding and lighting equipment falling down on dancers who are rehearsing. This is when they were told to leave yesterday because a storm was approaching. And here's the funny thing is all of these MAGA Trump supporters are then funneled into the Museum of African American History that was the closest place to take shelter. Okay. No, what was it? How many million dollars? 12 million? 13 million? I mean, who's in charge? Who's in charge? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They had no backup plan for a storm that I think has happened at 90% of the fairs on, in DC on July 4th. Like, it's not so uncommon an occurrence.
And this crowd was seriously like the January 9th rioters or whatever. I mean, they were like January 6th rioters. They were yelling, chanting USA and trying to bust their way back into the fair.
Oh my God.
And they're interviewing a lot of these guys on TV, and TV selectively picks out who they want, but there were a lot of upset MAGA folks, just pissed about the whole thing.
I mean, it was so, I think, poorly run. I guess a lot of places weren't open, places where people were going to have food, it was just a hodgepodge. Okay. Yeah, it's witchcraft. Very funny. I mean, something was going on there because everything went wrong, but it is just I was thinking about how when we had Matt Ho on, he was like, I've been around government and military for such a long time. If it's nefarious,
he leans on
conspiracy
incompetence.
Yeah. I think it might be an even split. Or maybe the incompetence is to hide the sinister activity or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not religious, but I think we did anger the gods somehow with Trump.
Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be a bad thing. They were running there because there was a storm coming with lightning, right? So that can be dangerous. But there should be a sort of more calm, methodical way that they could exit. I don't know. That didn't feel like safety protocol to me. Okay. Other things that happened. This happened the day before. This is or 2 days before in California, but it once again just feels very much like a sign of our failing times. This was a parachute crash at a rodeo in Folsom, California on July 2nd. I mean, that's.
Hey, I'm kind of proud. That's my city right there.
Oh, is it?
Well, it's all Greater Sacramento.
I didn't know that. I didn't. Yeah.
I work in that area.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. I mean that is pretty crazy. We also had, of course, the fireworks. By the way, okay, so the fireworks usually there are 20,000 fireworks. That would be a typical July 4th fireworks show on the mall in DC. This year, 850,000 fireworks will be launched from 10 locations for 40 minutes this year. Let's see how that turned out for the attendees. I mean, it just looks like an explosion and smoke. usually the point of a fireworks display is to see some beautiful image or the sprinkles falling from the sky. And even today, there was still a bad health, bad air alert in DC. Obviously.
Absolutely. I mean, they polluted the air so badly you couldn't see the fireworks in the air at the time.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So more is not always better.
Right.
Just kind of crazy. Trump also gave a speech. This is a small snippet of it because we don't hate you guys as much as we hate ourselves in watching it, the whole thing.
Yet as we approach this magnificent anniversary, we see our American identity under a renewed attack. A generation after we fought and won the Cold War against the menace of communism, there is now a resurgence of the communist menace in our land, including from newcomers to our country who embrace ideas totally opposed to our way of life and our great success. These are not mere political disagreements like differences over taxes or regulations. Communism is a mortal threat to American liberty. We can only lose the midterms if we allow ourselves to lose the midterms, if we are foolish, stupid, and unwise. But if we terminate the filibuster, as we should do, and immediately vote for the Save America Act, then we will not lose an election.
What
The
a
commies are
celebratory-
coming.
Yeah, celebratory.
That's all they've got
spirit.
is the commies are coming. And the Democrats are going to agree with them on that
Oh,
and
sure.
try to make all the progressives lose.
100%.
Even though not a single one of them is a communist.
Not a
I
single
mean,
one's a communist.
Not even remotely. They're the guy in Michigan, he's not even a DSA member. He's not even a socialist.
Wait, Abdul El Sayed? Oh, I thought he
Yeah,
was.
he's not a
DSA?
socialist. He
Well,
said he's
yeah.
not a socialist.
All right.
So
You know-
like,
Yeah.
I mean, but to jump to communism with what's in front of you is ridiculous.
It's so
mean,
pathetic. I mean, they
obviously, but-
even called like what's his name? No, her name, Kamala. They called her a communist.
Yeah.
She was too far left. Like we know that that's what they do no matter what you call yourself and what your actual objectives and ideology are. So the fact that anybody pays attention to that is absurd, but you're right. I mean, that's exactly what the DNC consultants are all
Well,
about.
I'll tell you where it works a little bit is with the MAGA folks, right? So their
Right.
little subset of the population. Like I was watching, like I said, I watched OAN all weekend, and they repeated theme is that New York is falling apart day by day under Mamdani. Like they're just like, and the other thing they kept repeating was, oh, his budget is so out of control that it's going to bankrupt the state. And they said he's got a budget for New York City as big as Florida. That was their big talking point. New York City's budget bigger than Florida. You can't do that in the country, is what he's saying. Like,
Yeah. It's all absurd. And then just like, when they were, when Bernie did his town hall for Fox and got a standing ovation, they show these things. This is on Fox. Abier, I'm not sure how she pronounces her name. Fox News aired this to scare the American people. It's Medicare for all, college for all, housing for all, 32-hour work week, tax the rich, Green New Deal, and Free Palestine, Democratic Socialists of America. That's a winning message, actually.
that is the winningest of winningest platforms.
Yeah.
Right there.
Like, sign me up. I wish. Give it all to all of us. 100%. One thing that's interesting. So, right now, until we change the Constitution, Zoran Mamdani obviously can't run to be president because he was born in Uganda. And he also isn't in Congress, right? Like he's the chief executive of New York City. So he has a different ability to assert his power and his vision because of his position right now, but also because he is prohibited from running for president. So it's a different setup. But I do think the fact that he's just kind of running with this new mantle of like, I am the leader of this new wave, and I will continue to say the things that need to be said because there is a gaping vacuum, a black hole where the party of opposition should be. And so he came forward a day before Trump was giving his speech, or I don't know if it was the day before, but it was several hours earlier at least. He scheduled his so that he would sort of preempt it with a speech about what the American dream is. It was really beautiful. This is just a couple minutes of it, but compare and contrast.
That legacy of every generation of Americans insisting that the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness extends to them too, is no relic of the past. It carried millions of Black Americans north during the Great Migration. It drew hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans to New York City after the Second World War. It invited countless others from the West Indies and South Asia and West Africa and across the world. And it is what brought my family to this city when I was 7 years old. My family did not arrive by boat, although we saw the Statue of Liberty from the window of the plane. Even from the air, we could make out the promise of America, the promise of the beautiful patriotic work of rendering America, year after year, a little more faithful to its founding ideals. There is a term so often used to describe our nation and those who have shaped it: American exceptionalism. American exceptionalism, the conventional wisdom tells us, makes our freedom a little more free, is how we dug the Erie Canal and irrigated the West, is why children in faraway lands grow up dreaming of one day moving here. And yet the irony is that the story of America has so often been written by those who were told by others with power and influence and wealth that they were anything but exceptional. For generation after generation, we have been told that when the world has sent its people to our shores, it has not sent its best. It sent Puritans and Sikhs and Quakers and Muslims and Jewish people who were banished for praying the wrong way, worshiping the wrong gods, angering the wrong people. It sent peasants and serfs from slums and shtetls who were treated as less because they hardly owned clothes, let alone land. It sent immigrants from whom power was something someone else had. We are told that America is exceptional because we are richer, stronger, more powerful than everyone else. The truth, my friends, is that America is exceptional because here, nothing is fixed into place. The frontier may be closed, we may have walked on the moon, but the work of fulfilling the values first enshrined in the Declaration of Independence, that work endures, and it belongs to us all. It belongs too to our newest Americans, those standing here with me today, all of whom were recently naturalized. Nearly a decade ago, I too felt what you feel, the joy of no longer being just a New Yorker, but an American too. You each hold a special power, the power to determine what America means.
You know. Oh, you are muted.
I'm not going to do this for every topic, but OAN addressed this.
What did they say? Because we've got some graphics.
It's just really illustrative of how they have an alternate narrative running. So their narrative was, Mamdani's PR team is working overtime to clean up what a disastrous speech he gave.
That's crazy.
And so they pointed to two different tweets. Like, here's the first time he tried to clean up the speech, to make up for such a bad speech, and then here's the second time.
Oh God, I didn't see any,
and that didn't happen. There was
none of it.
There was nothing wrong with his speech at all. They just created this thing that their people believe, like he's also so bad for New York. I
mean, that's what they do on MSNBC and CNN too. It's so gross, and we have some clips of that as well. But I did see things like this. Elon Musk, Mamdani has built nothing. He's a taker, never a maker. And yes, I mean, there is the Fox version, and it did go on. I think it was in the end, it was like maybe 10 minutes. I think Mayor Zoran Mamdani used America's 250th anniversary to sharply criticize the country, accusing the U.S. of allowing children to go hungry while billionaires and oligarchs gain more power, as if that's not reality. He said America's wealth was built by working people with calloused, dirt-streaked hands, while accusing the country of allowing the wealth built by workers to be concentrated in the soft hands of a precious few, which I loved when he called these weaselly monsters, their soft-handed, precious few.
Absolutely.
But then, okay, so obviously Elon Musk is just a disgusting,
And he's the taker. Like, he literally is describing himself.
Well, he does. Of course. He's a disgusting person. But then we have Spencer Ackerman. What's his name? Bill Ackman. The best evidence that New York City Mayor Mamdani has not held a job. They all love to say this. He hasn't held the job. is the fact that he is sitting on the wrong side of the desk. And listen to his words. On a day when we, and in particular our leaders, should be celebrating the 250 years of our nation's history, he attacks us and what makes our country great. Apparently just billionaires. That's all that makes our country great, because he didn't attack anybody but the oligarchs. Mamdani and the Democratic Socialists are grave threats to our present and our future. He was joined by Spencer Pratt, running for LA city mayor. Everyone's clowning on Kami Mamdani for having Washington's desk backwards in this hostage video, but it's deliberate. It's meant to be this way. You are Washington looking at the carpetbagger who came to your desk to tell you he hates your country and he's got demands. This is Washington's desk. It's called a partner's desk, and there are drawers on both sides.
Fucking clowns.
I mean,
and to just even make the narrative like that somehow he doesn't know how to use a desk. I mean, yeah, right. It's obviously a joke anyway, but it's so stupid. Even if it was backwards for a photo op, who fucking cares?
yeah. Like, listen to what he's actually
That's what you got
saying.
on him?
Yeah.
That's what you got on him.
And meanwhile, you know, listen, I know we all talk about how voting isn't going to save us. We're not going to vote our way out of this, but it is a tool and it's necessary, because Trump would not spend, and the Republicans, so much time on this the SAVE Act, to disenfranchise voters if it didn't mean something. I know it doesn't mean everything. Clearly, look where we are. But I do think the fact that in his address to the nation, you know, Trump is talking about the dirty commies and the Voting Act. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's running a 1930s, you know, commies are coming thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's where
and
we
people are like, yeah, look, let them come. First off, let them come. Do they have healthcare? Are they bringing healthcare?
I mean, for fuck's sake, look at us. Yeah, let them.
We have some of that domino effect of healthcare and a living wage and affordable rent. Can we do that?
I mean, it really is fascinating that two of the places that we have demonized so harshly for such a long time, China and Cuba, who we've, you know, cut off from having certain of our materials, horrific sanctions, obviously, against Cuba. But because of that, and because of China, like, not being allowed to have some of our, I mean, I know they have the precious materials, but they weren't allowed to have some of our knowledge on creating AI. Like, that became a closed circle where then they had to create all parts of the product, right? So like Cuba comes out with fantastic vaccinations, lung cancer, COVID. Anytime there is a disaster anywhere, their doctors, their firefighters immediately go off to help whoever in the world needs help. China now is beating us on electric vehicles, on AI, on chip manufacturing, on everything, right? Like, so being denied our largesse, honestly, it's kind of like, you know, you think about like every time you tell your kid, no, you're doing him a favor, like it's sort of hard at first, but like, yeah, then like they learn how to self-satisfy. And I think that is an important part of development. Not that I think it's right the way we've treated these countries. Of course, it's abominable. But I do think it's interesting that how they can prevail.
Well, and the U.S. is on the verge of becoming the other side of that lesson.
Yeah.
Like, countries are going to figure out how to work without the U.S.
Yeah.
And the easiest path to that, guess what? It's communism. It's not actual communism, but it's China. It's all these other countries that are thriving while we're on massive decline and we're the villains in the world. So you've made it really easy for other countries to say, let's find another way without the US.
Yeah. Like when they point to what does capitalism look like, and you see people sleeping on the streets, dying of preventable conditions, not having healthcare, like that's capitalism. We are a cancer. Capitalism is a cancer. Look what we've done to the climate, right?
Yeah.
With our military and everything else.
At every opportunity, we've given our government every chance in the world to catch up with, at least on healthcare, right? You know, and you see every single politician fighting us, getting us healthcare. Yep. And if you want to save capitalism as some failed experiment, but keep it around longer, just give people fucking healthcare and you won't do it. Okay, well, if you can't do that, nobody wants this war, and we know that we could have healthcare for the same we're paying now anyway. But
Yeah.
let's just pretend it's massively expensive, and you got this war that nobody supports, and you're still choosing the war in Israel over us.
I mean, it's just, it's another large piece of evidence of how we don't have a democracy. The other just kind of, I mean, it's a little jaw-dropping to see, but anyway, the ICE agents took a day off and participated instead in this Nazi march. This was through, the streets of DC yesterday, celebrating the great nation of America.
We need flag. Flag to the front. That's about it. We're good. Reclaim America!
Did Pat go away? Oh, I mean, truly, like, disgusting, but okay, that's I am a free speech hardliner. I believe in their right to be as disgusting as they are in public. This though, like, it starts feeling a little threatening. This photograph taken for Reuters by Cheney Orr with this Black woman on the metro surrounded by all these Nazi thugs.
That's the photo of the year right there to me.
I mean,
That's
I guess I would also say this is by Finn Gomez.
I thought that was the same photographer. Wow.
No, different one. This is for
didn't know.
this was for
I saw that picture.
yeah. Getty Images, I think. Black man surrounded by these people wearing masks all over. I mean, it is really frightening. And these are all people who would not wear a mask to protect themselves from COVID, right? And then here's another one also, Getty Images, Finn Gomez, an Asian man. I mean, just looking around at the Gestapo, like, that's taking over the whole metro. I don't know. That just is very, like, that's a frightening image. Strike. Hi. Anyway, the fair didn't go well. That's the Patriot Front. Those are the Patriot Front, who
Modern
also
era
were
KKK.
suffering. Yeah, they are KKK now. They're like the Proud Boy KKK people. And then there was a whole bunch of right-wing MAGA types who were saying, oh no, they're all feds. It's like, the whole thing is,
I mean,
gross.
look, there's crossover with ICE agents, I'm sure.
Oh,
but
for
it's not a
sure.
Fed op. They're racist. They're a racist
Yeah.
organization. You don't need the feds to create them.
Yeah.
You just need our government to allow them.
And all the cops just like stood back. Like, if there were, they could have used that, right, to tamp down on free speech the way they did when Charlie Kirk was killed or when people are protesting a genocide, right? And yeah, basically they are, I love all these comments, they are 100% Grinch maxing supremacists, tech bros. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we don't know when they're coming so we can come out to protest. I don't know. Alex Karp, KKK. They do love the fascists. It's why they call themselves techno-Zionists. It's why, I don't know enough about that guy. Gage, is that his name? It's not Tate, it's the other one. Somebody Gage. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Shoot. All right, I'll look.
We need
I'll look
Zaina
it up.
in the audience. Where you at, Zaina?
No, but this is a right wing, like one of those male, like a Tate guy, racist,
Andrew Tate
sexist.
kind of guy. Okay.
Yeah, Gage is his name, I think. But anyway, he's renounced his white supremacy apparently, and Canary Mission is welcoming him. Lucas Gage. Just the way they excused Elon Musk's awkward salute. They are truly fine with the far right. That's a model for them, actually, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's one thing that MAGA has conditioned his people to believe, it's just whatever he says.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
There's no belief system left anymore, because
Yep.
the cops, OAN is pushing this movie where the cops get all fucking killed by a vigilante.
Yeah.
This is the whole, nothing matters. It's just, are you on our team or not? It's our team. That's what matters.
Yeah, it's awful. And I didn't know that, Wally. That's crazy. That went to the Supreme Court decades ago. You're allowed to burn the US flag. You're allowed to burn the Israeli flag. And, I saw Doug Burgum today talking on one of the Sunday shows, and they asked about the Patriot March, and he said, I don't agree with the things that they say, but they have the right to say it. That's what we have in the United States, which I agree with. That, you can say, I find it abominable, reprehensible, disgusting, all of that, but they have a right to say it. Would be nice if Trump said something like that ever, but of course he doesn't give a shit and he appreciates them. So that's what the woman was asking. It might have been Dana Bash asking Doug Burgum, will he, do you condemn? Yeah. Do you condemn them? That's what she said, of course. Right. But who the fuck cares? Enough. So you can't be far right. And now you equate these people who are white supremacists, violent thugs, to college kids who are protesting a genocide. So that's the state of our media. Anyway, FAIR was an absolute disgrace, as it should be. Finally, something worked out the way God intended.
It was the best depiction of America at 250 ever.
I agree. All right, let's spin before we move on to more joy. That's good. If every segment we get an extra drink, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Back-to-back puppets.
We had one show where we didn't even get any. Yeah.
This is our last puppets. So,
all right. Well,
here we go.
Right.
Dogs and veggies.
¿Lechuga? No quiere. ¿Pollito?
Bailey, you want a treat?
Dasher, do you want broccoli?
Bella, do you like celery?
Want broccoli? Broccoli.
What a joke. That was really cute. I love it. That was very cute. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to I'm just trying to see what we really have here with Republicans, because I think mostly what we have is more Democrats fighting against their left flank instead of fighting against the fascists to their right. I did think it was interesting, though, that Fox did a segment on the Trump family being the worst grifters in the history of the presidency. Like, why do you think that's happening right now? Because they know their
I didn't
audience.
see that. That's interesting.
All right, let's show it. It's a minute and a half. Let's just show it, and then it's fascinating.
We have seen 10-figure business deals breaking the Trump family's way for rare earth minerals and for cryptocurrency. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes, assuming all of this is legal, it's still an unseemly display of using the presidency for family profit. It's hard to believe the Trump boys would be able to do the same deals if Dad wasn't in the Oval Office. The main difference between Hunter Biden's foreign dealings and the Trump projects is that the Trumps are brazenly open about theirs.
It's the biggest grift of all time. Donald Trump has turned the White House into his own ATM.
Last year, the Wall Street Journal reported about Binance, the crypto exchange. Binance took steps that catapulted the Trump family venture's new stablecoin product, enhancing its credibility and pushing its market capitalization up from $127 million to over $2.1 billion. Its incarcerated co-founder then earned a presidential pardon.
I do not have any business relationship with any of the sons of President Trump.
The president insists with the stock market going up, a rising tide lifts all boats.
So we're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash, and I give it to institutions. I don't know if they know what they're doing or not, but they buy a vast array of things.
A new interview with President Trump just finished airing on CNBC, and in it, the president was asked if he knew that the family was getting into the crypto business. The president said he could know it wouldn't be illegal, and that he feels badly for his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, because any business decision that they make is so scrutinized.
All right, that's just a blatant lie, right? So
they made $2.3 billion last year on crypto.
I think he made, well, I don't know. I won't debate the numbers, but I know he made over $1 billion on just the meme coin and crypto.
Right.
So
we showed that report on Wednesday about all the money that they made and how it took exactly away from, there were 3 different coins adding up to $2.3 billion. And it was an exact loss from the schlubs who are like signing up to try to get rich with him.
Yeah. But the way he made all his money on that deal, the value of the crypto was completely irrelevant. He just did like he always does. His name's attached to the deal.
Yep.
He didn't even have a stake in, he has stake in it. He makes money off the transactions.
Yeah.
So it's not the value of the stock, for example. If you look at a Bitcoin like a stock, it's not the value of it that even matters. It's just trading it and his name and how much he got from the start. So he didn't care. And all that money came from his biggest fans.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's gross. And I know that it's like, I mean, like, obviously it's all disgusting and Democrats don't do anything about it, because even though maybe they have not done it to the same amount of wealth, they sell their power and their influence just the same. And it actually also has incredibly damaging effects. Like, you look at the global Clinton initiative and how much of a scam that was and how much they profited off of it and how many people in Haiti were, trafficked, human trafficking, or contracts that were given to their friends who paid them. You look at
his brother got the tent contract, the moldy tent contract with his brother.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jen, the Dems are cheaper whores. I mean, that is true. But also, I look at, like, you think about the whole Russiagate thing. I think we're about to have a war with the EU and Russia, like World War III, with a major nuclear power. And liberals cannot even fathom diplomacy with Putin. They have convinced themselves that he is worse than Hitler, and there's absolutely no negotiating, even though he's come to the negotiating table several times, even though they, kept moving their military closer and closer, slaughtering civilians in the Donbass region. And that leads to where we are now, 2014 and then 2016 with all the Russia stuff leads us to a place where Nord Stream pipeline is blown up. We've been, doing this proxy war with Russia for the last 4 years. Almost 1 million Ukrainians have been slaughtered. So it's not a financial, yes, the Clintons and the Obamas certainly enriched themselves, as did Biden's family, not to the same amount as Trump, but also look what they've done to the world with their corruption. So I think it's all disgusting.
It is. The thing with the Democrats is they're more subtle about it, right? It's not in your face. And that allowed all this to happen. And they're not putting any checks on this really because they know they're likely to be in power next.
Yep. Yeah.
And they're already also, making complicit criminal deals to profit off everything they're doing.
Yep.
Both sides are doing it.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just like watching this whole thing play out with Ukraine and Russia and the EU. It's terrifying. And the fact that there's nobody in power, there's no diplomat who thinks it would be better to make peace with Russia. And anytime you say that, then you're Putin's puppet, or why do we want to reward terrorism? Well, how do you think it's going to end? Somebody is going to have to compromise, and Russia will not be the one because they are the bigger power. And if what's going to happen if, I don't think they're going to strike Poland, which is, what they're kind of floating now, because Poland is disgusted with Ukraine because of their Nazi problem and, commemorating a Nazi who killed 100,000 of their people, a Nazi collaborator, exhuming his body and then giving him this sort of, ornamental new burial. So they are really offended. I don't know what's taken them so long, because as we all saw from the very beginning, Ukraine has a Nazi problem, and we've been arming them and training them. Our CIA has. So what's going to happen with all of these weapons now? They are now actually, targeting. They have long-range missiles that are going right into Russia. I don't know. It's just terrifying to me. There's nobody rational. Where are the adults in the building? Anyway, they're all corrupt and they all damage us in different ways.
Yeah. We don't have people at the top that have a vested interest in stopping it because they can profit from it, is what it comes down to. And even if it's just keeping the status quo and not disrupting them so they can keep making their other side hustle money on other projects, it's like the military industrial complex is it's like Israel in a sense. It's like the drug companies in a sense. It's like, even if you don't fight them, you're better off just letting it exist as it is to not get the angst against you. And you're not a team player for either party if you buck either of those things.
Yeah, I know. It's just nobody cares about human life. Obviously we know that in everywhere you turn, whether it's climate, COVID, healthcare, war, nobody cares. But yeah, he doesn't care about the Ukrainians dying or the Russians dying, as long as it's not Americans dying. But the truth is, I don't think he'd really care about Americans dying. He just doesn't want the fallout from what that would do if Americans start dying, right? And yes, Zizou, that is true. But I think that, part of the reason I think that Russia has shown so much restraint over the past 4 years is because, they don't want to be the pariah of the world and have everybody turn against them. And I think as they are, strategizing and seeing that they can possibly chip away, as Finland says that they will now house our nuclear weapons or the EU's nuclear weapons, which is crazy. But they're seeing Poland, possibly there is an opening to push them away from all of this. I don't know. It's it's really bad.
Well, things are not going to get better in the next administration either with Russia, because especially as the Democratic Party is losing its foothold with the left in the US, socialism and communism need to be vilified, and he's the number 2 guy in that field, right? China and Russia are the bad guys.
Even though
So
we
need the
Russia's
bad
not
guys.
communist. Like, it's so weird.
No,
You know.
it's yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
it's a dictatorship. Yes, it is. But
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
all
not
of this is true.
communism.
Yeah, exactly. And certainly, yeah, I mean, the Azov, the Banderites, all of them are absolute fascists. They have tons of weapons. They have trained the Patriot Front or the Unite the Right people. They trained with the Ukrainian fascists. You know, it's just such a web of depravity. Honestly, it's just so gross. And sorry, I need to read all of your comments. Yes, Americans are dying. Europe is completely corrupt. I don't even know what their vision is anymore, apart from war with Russia. It's crazy. Obama also comes out of his presidency with his huge deal with Netflix. I mean, it's just I hope
think about
that's
it. You know,
not true.
after
Sorry.
Trump openly just rips off $2 billion in a year,
Yeah.
you know, 20 million for the next guy is nothing, right? So if you're in the top tier of politics, it's like I could do whatever the fuck I want now, you know.
I mean, that's
And the Supreme
that's-
Court expanded all the power. So
That's right. And that, I mean, you know, I know we talk about this all the time, but that is why Democrats only fight against the left, because all they have to do as the right keep it's, you know, the ratchet effect and all of that, the Overton window shift, all of that. Now, okay, so how corrupt is Nancy Pelosi if she only made $170 million as in her stint as Speaker of the House? Like, come on, that's not Trump level of
exactly.
corruption. So like
And
20
it's
million.
literally their defense now. It's
Yeah.
like what, one 100th of what Trump is doing? Oh, okay, you got me.
Yeah. Would you rather have Trump? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly where we're going to go. And this is crazy. This just came out a couple days ago. The Court of Justice of the EU has authorized criminal prosecution in EU countries of persons who publish Russia Today videos on open channels and websites. I mean,
That's just wild. It started with the, you know, you can't say it from the river to the sea. That was the beginning of this.
Yep. Or, I mean, honestly, it started, I mean, there's been so many starts, but, you know, with all the prosecution under Obama, who prosecuted more journalists than all former presidents combined.
True.
Right? Like, if it's true and it's not libelous, why do you need to prosecute?
And I'm sorry, but as a viewer, you're not held to the account of having to fact check things you share. So if there's 29 lies and one truth in a video, I can still share that video. It's not moral of me to do it or something, but like, you can't police people for having to fact check things. It's just not.
I mean, or at least like, actually, you know what? On some level, start with corporate news. I would love to see that level of scrutiny. Truly, though, like consistently, that they are not allowed to lie about what's actually happening in the world. It's so gross. And then this is, I think this is in the UK. Yeah, under Starmer, any journalist who works with a source from Gaza or even approaches them for information could face 14 years in prison.
I mean, how is that? Like, so that's us right now because we had someone on from Gaza.
Yeah.
So we could be jailed for that if
yeah.
we were in UK.
Because they're prescribed terrorists. If you have anything to do, well, I get because all of Gaza is responsible for Hamas, and Hamas is a prescribed terrorist organization. And do you condemn and terrorist and October 7th and From the River to the Sea and Globalized Intifada, which is why you do not give those arguments and those people 1 inch of rope, no quarter. I don't.
And you know, all this, it all converges with this war on immigrants. It's like the otherizing.
Yep.
It's back to just, you know, we're German. We need Germans here. except for Israelis. Israelis are also good, but everyone else, we're back to being Nazis against. And especially the UK. The UK is a mess right now. They're just as racist as we are.
Really horrific. I mean, that you, just for saying free Palestine from the river to the sea or supporting Palestine action can be hauled off, which of course you can do that here. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure why they are getting more attention than we are for our, lack of a First Amendment. Because I guess maybe because eventually when the courts, finally they will release a journalist or, Mahmoud Khalil does get out. But then you'll see a conversation like this with Jake Tapper, like another one who should see the wall, with Jake Tapper and Goldman, Dan Goldman, who just lost to Brad Lander, talking about Mahmoud Khalil with lie after lie on CNN.
I'm optimistic that he will take a more even-handed approach in his criticism, but also similarly when really egregious anti-Semitic incidents happen, because this is not a First Amendment issue.
He had Mahmoud Khalil at his house, at the mayor's house, and he said he was doing that because he supports Khalil's right to free speech.
Right.
Did you have an issue with that?
It's not a question of the First Amendment. It's a question of whether or not the things that people say are okay in our society. If anybody said similar slurs or stereotypical tropes about any other protected class, any other minority group, they would be roundly condemned. But for some reason, when people say it about Jews, it's okay, or there's a dispute about whether or not it is anti-Semitic. And that is, to my mind, that's unacceptable. And I think as the leader of any city or country or any elected representative, it is incumbent upon us to set the right example.
What did Mahmoud Khalil say that was a slur or a trope about Jews? I mean,
nothing.
I haven't seen one.
Nothing.
It's a lie. It's a total lie.
Yeah, and these politicians, I mean, you got to think they don't believe it, but a lot of them probably have just been trained to believe this shit at this point because they know who puts out the dinner bowl every night for them. Who's feeding these people, and it's
I think
not to be a trope, but it's their donors at large, which happens to be Israel largely with a lot of them.
Well, and I mean, Goldman is a Zionist, right? So like, I think he does conflate Jews with Israel and Zionists. He does believe, I mean, I don't know. I think that some people who say the thing about the October 7th rapes and beheadings and babies in ovens, I think they believe it. I mean, I think some people actually believe it. I don't think that they think they're lying.
I have no doubt that they believe it, right?
I mean, it's disgusting, but like,
a lot of them, because their circle of people around them is not going to let the other stuff in, and they need to protect their ego. Their ego, you formed a position, you've taken all this money for this position. You're going to look around for evidence that backs up what you think. It's just, that's the way human, behavior works.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I mean, like, first of all, they're lying. Like, Mahmoud Khalil has said none of those things, and neither has Mamdani, right? So they're allowed to lie on news, but also people are allowed to be anti-Semitic. Like, you have that right. Sucks, but you got that right. Sucks to be anti-Black, anti-female, anti-Muslim, but you got that right. So but that's not even what happened, which is so crazy. And then this conversation, we're back to like reading people's body language, and this was on CNN talking about John Ossoff. And does he have, now they're going to do the same thing they did with Kamala, like, oh, the country's just not ready for a woman or a Black woman or East Indian, whatever, not ready. That's why she lost. Is the country ready for a Jewish president? Now they're going to talk about John Ossoff. They're already like setting it up. And here's CNN anchor Alex Michelson, kind of hilarious.
But on the Jewish thing, because he is,
wrap it up real
I
quick.
was saying he is Jewish. He might be the Democrat that can thread the needle, because even though he's Jewish, he's very critical of the Israeli government, very critical of Benjamin Netanyahu. He has credibility on that issue. So it's possible that I think he could fill that lane in between the two extremes of the Democratic Party.
Ask Scott Wiener how that's working out for him.
Yeah, as a Jew, some people read a little more Jewish than other people, and John Ossoff may not read as Jewish as Josh Shapiro does, for whatever that's worth.
That's so insulting. Nobody gives a fuck if he's Jewish. It's his policy, period, and stop.
How Jewish does Bernie read?
Wiener didn't lose because he was
the
Jewish.
Jew of Jews, and he's the most popular politician in the country because of his policies.
It's just a ridiculous argument. It's painful.
It's sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it is truly, truly sick. Yeah. And I remember this so clearly. We were living in Illinois when this march happened, the Skokie March. You know, Skokie is a very Jewish suburb of Chicago. Right. Yeah. Chicago. And there was going to be some neo-Nazi march there, and the ACLU, and it was a Jewish lawyer, defended them. They're right. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that ship has sailed. You wouldn't get that today.
What? A Jewish
From the
person
ACLU.
defending them? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly they've got a right to, like, they're marching all over the place. What you can't do is hold a Palestinian flag, or say from the river to the sea, or globalize Intifada, or I don't condemn Hamas. Like,
Or be like 3 steps, Kevin, what's his name, away from.
Not Kevin Spacey.
Jesus
Kevin,
Christ.
Footloose.
Jesus. But yeah, what's his name? Goddamn. Anyway, you can't be associated with people who also believe those things. Yes.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
Sorry.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. You can't even interview somebody.
3 degrees from somebody who said free Palestine.
Yeah. You had him for dinner. You talked to him. Oh, you had dinner with Putin. You interviewed Putin. What's a journalist supposed to do? Only interview a sanctioned group of people. Like, we're not supposed to know what any other world leader thinks. It's absurd. It's really it is so puerile. It's just embarrassing. All right. We've got a lot more Democrat stuff. So what do you think?
So yeah, we should. Hey, what's up, Nays? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Nays, how are you? All right, here we go. All right. I might have to call an audible and just spill my drink since it didn't land on that.
Do it. Let's see. Let's go with Kim Winder, also known as _red dot.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. Clearly, that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No! God, please, no!
Not tonight.
It's my special day, though.
I understand. Maybe another time.
But I want you.
And I want you to be what you promised to be. You promised to be a safe harbor for the tired and huddled masses, that every person is considered an equal, regardless of where they were born, what they worship, and who they love, as long as it's on our soil. I want leaders that actually lead for the people and not their wallets. I want to be respected by our allies and help them as neighbors. I want corruption to see justice, and those in power who hide behind titles to remember that history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly does rhyme. I want to be proud to be a fucking American again.
So, not even hand stuff?
Get the fuck out!
How about a 3-fist compromise?
Shut up!
Proud to be an American. Okay, let's just keep on with the horrors of the party of opposition. We're a few weeks away, but the focus is really on Michigan right now. Mallory McMorrow announced she's dropping out. This was last week, the money being spent. God, it's 4 days ago. I feel like that was forever ago when we pulled this. Ad reservations as of July 1st, Haley Stevens, $34.4 million spent by AIPAC. Because, she says Israel comes to her in her dreams. Mallory McMorrow, that was $9 million right down the toilet. And Abdel Saeed, $2.8 million. That was actually, of course, not being spent by AIPAC in his defense, but that was what he had in his slush fund for his ads. And then I just thought this was interesting. We showed that article that came out in Semaphore by David Weigel last week, and how he was kind of harsh about Haley Stevens and saying, she can't even string two sentences together, and AIPAC should have given her maybe some training on that. If, for all the money they've given her and she can't even string two sentences together. And then all of a sudden we had Shannon Watts saying that he's so sexist, and Neera Tanden. Now also this lady, Jessica Mackler, when an accomplished woman runs for office, she's too ambitious, too loud, too quiet, or suddenly an empty suit. This is the same tired playbook always used against women leaders. I'm over men pretending sexist double standards are just politics. Abdul Saeed, do better. Jessica Mackler. And as Adam Johnson points out, two things. Emily's List, the organization Jessica is president of, is funded by AIPAC via Majority for Israel PAC, $500,000 last quarter. And on CNN, McMorrow casually tied Hassan Piker and El Said to the Michigan synagogue attack last week, right? So it always only works one way, but I do love when Emily's List and Planned Parenthood, have done some really good things. But do you remember when they came out against Bernie and he said something about they're the establishment, and everyone was like, you're so sexist. No, they are. They're the establishment. They are corporate shills, and taking money from AIPAC. Just fucking.
Yeah. And a sad occurrence now is that CNN is having David Weigel on all the time. He's a staple now.
Yeah.
With his terrible little mustache and whatnot. But
isn't he kind of left? He's not the other guy, Iglesias. For a while, I thought they were saying, but is he like that also?
No, but he's the one who wrote the article that started that quote tweet that you were showing, right?
Sure. Yes.
Right. So he does sort of walk the middle, but he's the guy who walks the middle that you're like, oh, he's an honest journalism because he attacks both sides, and then he does the hit pieces on everyone left.
Yeah.
He's always been a fraud.
That is really interesting, and you're right, because I just fell into that trap by saying, isn't he sort of on the left? No, you're totally right. Here's another one. This was I have seen three people basically hang up on or walk out on Brianna Joy Gray, her podcast, Bad Faith. And at first, because I responded to her after watching this latest episode, which we'll show you a clip from really quickly, saying that I've now seen two men walk off your show. The first man was Zed Jelani. He was really into the white man's burden and men feeling so put upon, and that the left was helping sort of push them away. And I don't know. I guess maybe I'm similar to her. I was listening to her sort of kind of pick away at his argument and him responding. And I thought it was a smart conversation. And then he just grew exasperated and hung up and left. So she had on Daniel Denvir, who is a socialist, who has a podcast that she talks about all the time, The Dig, and I listen to all the time, about socialists. He's excited about what's happening with the DSA, with the new rise of all these people who are getting voted in and upending the establishment. And they're having a long conversation, and she says, yes, but I'm just wondering what happened. The right looks like they're about to possibly start a new third party. Why doesn't the left? And he made some good points about the most success that anybody even partly left was Bernie almost getting elected and also growing this movement, and the mayor of New York, all people running within the Democratic Party with the idea that we're going to take it over. It's a structure that is already existing, and I can run in that party and get seen, get on the debate stage, even though the whole establishment is going to fight against me. It's very different from being a Green Party member and barely even getting 5%, right?
Right.
So, okay, that's a good point. And they're going back and forth. And she says, okay, I get it. But first of all, why can't DSA support people like Shama Sawant or Butch Ware, or people who are truly like, who run on the platform of everything they say they believe in? Okay, fine. Maybe they can't do that for whatever their policy reasons are within their, DSA ship, whatever. But then she said, but okay, what happens though when they get in if they're not going to leverage their power, like something like force the vote? And then he lost his mind. So this is a very short clip.
If we're going to just like rehash the debate that you've been having with like the DSA left for 6 years, why? I've had a very busy day. Why'd you have me on?
Well, to what? Wait a minute, Dan.
This is, if you want to have me on, I answered your question, but you're just like, now we've been like 20 minutes having the same back and forth. Like you said your piece, I've said my piece. Like it's not like I'm not like a TV talking head. I just finished the 6th part of a 7-part, 16-hour series on the history of Indonesia, stretching from the dawn of Portuguese colonialism in the 16th century. I just finished my introduction on the mass anti-communist genocide of 1965, when between 500,000 and 3 million people were murdered by a US-backed dictator.
And then he hung up and walked away. It was crazy.
Was he mad that the whole show wasn't based on that stuff?
No, I don't know.
No,
I think he was just trying to prove his bona fides. Like, I am on the left. I understand that there are people who are, evil, but I'm not one of them. I expose them. And why are you raining on DSA parade? But like, what is the point? What is the plan? If all of these people get into office, but they don't do as they didn't before, as Cori Bush exposed in her first term, like there was no consolidating of power or strategizing amongst the squad. So the 6 of them can hold up legislation, but Joe Manchin can.
Exactly. And that's what we've all wanted. You could talk about that topic for the entire show. That's valid as hell. That's what we want to know. And if you're DSA and you're going on her show, convince us. Like, you should be there as an advocate of DSA to convince us why you're not going to abandon us. And the first thing you do is hang up the thing and abandon us because we're too left of you. Is that the thing?
Like, what are you mad about? What's going to happen if there isn't a strategy as they're coming into office? What's the point? And he had no response to that. And I don't understand. Like, first of all, there's not going to be a revolution if you can't even make it through an uncomfortable conversation. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You can't have this conversation. So what is the plan? What's the plan then? How do you leverage power? If you're already saying, oh no, we're going to support Jeffries, which by the way, as we showed, oh my God, Milas, is that her name? My brain just shut off. Who just won Melas, who just won in Colorado.
Melos
Karat, I think, who said, no, I won't. Like, I won't support him.
Yeah. And what are you doing? Like, if you're DSA, this is the biggest left pipeline that probably exists next to Hassan. Like Hassan, maybe, and then maybe her. I mean, honestly, like the left, but it's also a pipeline of people that, they could come back to the party at some point or something, but they could come back for the DSA folks, and you can convince us it's enough people. Like it's the platform you want, and this is your movement, like to just leave.
Exactly. Like, does he understand how much heavy lifting these new people had to do to convince people who were like, fuck this, I am out after, 2020 and AOC, supporting Genocide Joe and not getting any concessions for her support and lying about Kamala. Like, the people who are winning now are doing it and having to work so much harder to bring more people in who are disgusted with the whole system. So if he can't even answer that question or engage with her, like, first of all, I don't even understand how anybody has a problem with force the vote. What's the problem? Pitch a fit. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Get what you
Here's
want.
the problem is that she was right on all of it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And history has proven all of us who were like, you should have done something with that moment. We're right. I mean, and I was sort of giving AOC and some of them a little pass, like, okay, we can see what happens and not
I know
hate them for
you
life.
said that now twice, Pat, but I remember when we talked about this on our show, I don't remember your saying, I mean, I was certainly for force the vote, and I got all of these, left lib people like, whoa, why do you like Jimmy Dore? I'm like, it has nothing to do with Jimmy Dore, but this policy is a good policy, like our strategy.
I was all for it. 1000% for force the vote. I just didn't think we needed to go to war with people who disagreed with me on that issue.
Right. Okay.
That was I didn't want it to be a dividing line among the left that it became.
Yes.
And that was where I walked the line, and just like, I can understand if you vote for a Democrat at the end of the day, it doesn't mean I hate you. You're closer to me still than the people that didn't, so my point with that is just that these people need to find a way to stay left. And if you're going to abandon the left on the biggest platforms, it's a pretty big declaration that you don't support the left. And if you want DSA to be a trusted group, you got to endorse outside of DSA. I'm sorry, they have to. They got to come out and say, Shama Sawant, yes, you are everything we pretend to stand for. You don't have to be a DSA member. We think we should support
but you are the person that we would support. Absolutely. I don't understand what it means to get into office and not leverage your power and have no strategy to leverage your power. Then what good does it make if you say, I don't take PAC money, but you support for speaker and leader the people who do? I don't support a genocide, but I will give them the Iron Dome. Like, none of this.
Well, and you have to be savvy enough, if you're speaking as a representative of DSA, to say, look, we have plans. We don't want to give the farm away we don't want to turn off voters, but we're going to be, we're not going into this sheepishly somehow or something, just don't lose your shit.
I mean, I cannot imagine walking off a show in that kind of hissy fit, like a little baby. What are you talking about? So what has AOC gotten? What has she gotten? What's the point of her coming into office? She said she was going to be the most powerful person there is a congressperson who only wants to hold one term and goes down swinging.
I mean, the only thing she proved is that a DSA person is a safe Democrat. They're safe, which, in a way can be something good for future DSA folks. But in the net positive, no, it's not. But I'm just saying, like, strategically, I'll give them that. She's a safe Democrat, but we don't want to elect more Democrats. And that's where you're pissing off your supporters.
Want to elect people who are safe, right? Like, so, yeah, I mean, sorry. Okay. So I will say, and I'm sorry, because I just pulled that. I'm like, honestly, it came out, I think, on Thursday or Friday, jaw dropped. Like, I just could not believe that was happening. And honestly, she looks a little close to tears, which I would understand. Like, she's having a conversation with somebody whom she really respects and who says he wants all the same things that she does. And as she's trying to think about it and figure out the best way, and he just has a little tantrum.
And more than most interviewers, she's very good at just extracting the full discussion. In some ways, you got to take the other side in a discussion to get the most out of somebody. And she's good at that. Like, we have people on, we're not very confrontative because we already know these are strong leftists, but these, strategically, person like this, flushing out your plan reassures the people that want to support you. So that, like, if it's a softball interview, like, don't go on her show, because you got to be able to discuss this stuff. It's such a fail.
It is such a fail. I don't understand why it's upsetting to people to have this conversation, apart from the fact that they were shown to be incorrect. And those of us who supported Force the Vote were right. But even if you believe you're right, he couldn't even come up with how he was right. Like, what have we gotten since AOC got in power? No healthcare, no Green New Deal, war with Russia, and a genocide. Like,
yeah. But on the other hand,
if
DSA is just another political organization, you've grown the DSA with her. You haven't changed a fucking thing in the world.
Right.
But, you know, if you're just a business, it's been good for the DSA, right?
Yeah, it was bizarre. Anyway, and so I wrote to her and said, like, I've now seen two men walk off your show. And then I was also thinking, like, Trump walking off of Kristen Welker. I was like, and I didn't write this part, but I did say, you know, I've now seen two men and Trump walking off. What is going on with people, whatever. And she said, well, in fairness, this was the first person to walk off on me. And it was Tal Lavin, who had just written the book at the time about, like, infiltrating a group of neo-Nazis. Do you remember that? And
no,
it was at the beginning. It was in the beginning, like 2021 or something. And I think Brianna Joy Gray was like, well, is there ever a way to pull people back in? Like, is there hope for people, or do we just completely dismiss them and be like, okay, these people are always just going to be Nazis? Because there are people who are able to be reformed. There are also people whom we have labeled like, oh, everybody who votes for Trump is a Nazi. But meanwhile, like, a huge number of them voted for Obama. So it wasn't like, oh, all of a sudden they turned into Nazis. But even if that's your thesis, then okay, if they can all of a sudden turn into Nazis, can they all of a sudden turn back and vote for somebody who would, you know? So she was just, again, like, trying to suss it all out, and Talia Levin just walked off the show again. So I don't know, crazy. It's all crazy to me.
Man, am I right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I will say that
no,
then somebody said that Tal Levin now identifies as he, him. So then I was like, oh, maybe it is a man thing. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, she is a strong woman. And if you're a sexist piece of shit that somehow expects her to kowtow to you or whatever, you get what's coming. Because I'm on Team Bree all day.
Yeah, same. I just have to say, this is funny. So Josh, for anybody who doesn't know, is my husband. And like 15, 20 years ago came to me and said, what about a Jewish kid who turns into a neo-Nazi? I was like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. It would never happen. And then like 2 years later, American History X came out.
All I can ever think of when I hear that name is the curb stomp.
Oh, yeah.
The violent curb stomp. It just stuck in my head with that movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Okay, let's get to these super chats before we spin. Sisson Videjo, hello. World realignment, Pat describes here. Petrodollars toast. Oil reserves will dry early August once gas hits $6 a gallon. All it takes is a spark and shit hits the fan. Yeah, I mean, I think the way they do with climate change and COVID and just pretend it's not happening anymore, like the world is pretending that we're not gonna all be in deep shit in like 2 months when all the oil reserves are dried up. And what's gonna happen?
No, I mean, no matter what happens, if we fixed it today, we still have some pain coming from what we've done, and we're not fixing it today. And there's more pain coming than people think. And
it's terrifying.
It's pretty bleak coming up here.
Yeah.
Which is an opportunity for us leftists to gather these people and bring them over to the dark side.
But not if you want to have difficult conversations. Thank you, Vendeo. Gaza happened because the world let US whitewash Vietnam. You know, and thank you for your super chat. That's really interesting. I feel like I don't think we did, or at least in my, I don't know. Like, I thought that was the shining example. Vietnam, like, you don't do that again. Look what we did. It's horrific. The people we killed to try to overthrow a regime and make their, system align with ours, and you don't get into these wars. And then we did it with Afghanistan, and now
we've kept doing it. We just ended the discussion kind of like, oh, we look back and like that's our history moment. That's where we learned not to do that, and then we just went right back to doing it all.
We hate every war but the one we're in, and love every social justice movement, except the one we're in. Yeah.
I need the wheel.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I think he means that we made it taboo to criticize. Maybe, but like, what were all those anti-Vietnam movies? Like, I mean, I understand what you like mainstream media. I understand what you're saying. And like, obviously we didn't learn a single lesson, or maybe the only lesson we learned was forever wars are great for the military industrial complex. So we got to just keep that going. I don't know.
I mean, we just came off of Iraq not that long ago.
Yeah. And Afghanistan,
where the press was out there immediately after, like, oh, we were so stupid to just go along with this narrative, never again. And then we're like, oh, but Joe Biden, the narrative was that we would, your Iraq war vote would curse your political career forever. And then we're like, well, but not with Joe. We got to go for Joe.
Oh my God. It's just screaming into a void, banging your head against a wall. That is life. Okay, 1 second. I'll get to it. We have so many Legos that we have to show today. I will follow instructions. The wheel tells me. Okay, 1 second. All right.
One more and we put the Lego.
All right. There we go.
Lego, your Lego of choice.
All right. Okay. We're going to do Lego of choice because it is timely. 1 second.
Oh, yeah. This was really good. I like this one.
Okay. Here we go. This is Be Ashamed.
For 250 years, you only asked a question. You never answered to anyone. Well, now I'm asking you. Years, you're expanding the map. A puzzle, a war, yeah, you're setting the trap. You call it a Zion, a city upon a hill. No free utopia, just blood that you spill. You marched out the native to die in the cold, to build up an empire of bodies and gold. 56 rich men signed the Declaration in ink and pushed all the masses right over the brink. Unlike a real freedom where votes carried through, your laws were just forced by an unelected few. You split up the world into South and the North with arrogant lies that you keep bringing forth. Be ashamed for the blood on the founding fathers' hand. Be ashamed for the teeth in the mud across the lands, for fronting to the world like the chosen people while hiding your crimes in the golden steeple. Be ashamed. Oh, the rulers must be ashamed. Be ashamed. 250 on the dash, attacking the ancient. A 2500 your nation, testing our patience. You thought it was over, you thought you had won. The awakening's here and the reckoning's begun. Ignorance ain't free, nah, the bill's coming due. Look at Mount Rushmore, it don't belong to you. Stolen sacred black hills, carved right in the stone. You work day and night just to pay for the throne. You laid down the bricks and you built the machine. Now the government runs you, controlling the screen. Two tangled triangles are steering the ship. The stars on your flag ain't got no grip. You think the Titanic will never go down. You think this grand empire will never ever drown. You let the true Christ bleed, turned your back on the whole list. Took at the ones who mock him, moving so slowly. No chains on your wrist, but a blindfold on your eyes, suppressing the justice to swallow the lies. Be ashamed for the 250 years that you sat in the quiet. Be ashamed when the truth on the street really called for a riot. For swallowing the lies cause the prophet was sweet. Now the karma of the silent is marching the street. For all that you knew but you stayed in the frame. Be ashamed. Oh, the silent must must be ashamed. Your time is done. Be ashamed. Do not be neutral.
Amazing.
It's really good, right?
They are really good. And I've seen a lot of them now from different makers, and they're starting to veer away from just rap. And I love that this one went a little country twang, hillbilly.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so that's Explosive Media, and he does more different genres. Where Persia
Right.
Boy, but yeah, I mean, it's really good. I kind of want to.
It is, and you just have to look at the world and how much, like, we're not putting out any positivity in the world, not even propaganda wise. Like,
No.
we're just like, and if we tried, you just got Trump on the world stage just shitting on every other country every chance he gets, both economically and rhetorically.
Yeah, it's all about cruelty. And I mean, I think that's the other thing is like everything that we put out there is cruelty, domination, you know, sending, like deporting people, do not come, the chain link as they're being marched into a plane and deported to, you know, a dungeon at CCOT. Like it's all just so disgusting. And yes, propaganda, fine, but like it has heart and it's so far fairly accurate. Right. So like, I like it a lot.
That's the thing. It's true. And when bad things happen to us, the world is going to be
thrilled.
Like mostly, yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, you had that coming.
You had that coming.
I watched, even if I didn't know anything, I watched fucking 20 Lego videos that convinced me.
Yeah.
And your president couldn't overcome that propaganda.
That's right. Neither, like none of your presidents. It's just been war after invasion since 9/11 and then before. But anybody who's like says we kind of deserve 9/11, which is another thing that
they always use that on Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan and Milos.
And by extension.
No, it was actually Daria Lisa Chevalier
Daria Lisa, yeah.
who said that also. I mean, I don't know if the other one did also, Milos Karat, but like, yeah, that's how that happens. Of course, we reap what we sow. Blowback sucks. So be better people out in the world and stop pillaging from every other country. Speaking of, we got a nice lecture from Netanyahu on, I think he was on Fox, about U.S. behavior and whom we should support and whom we shouldn't. The fact that he's allowed to speak, like you could get arrested for interviewing somebody from Gaza, but a war criminal genocider gets to come on TV and just talk.
Christians in the Middle East.
You're touching on my next question because a source close to the vice president's team told Politico that statement that he made reflects his view of this new political reality where, quote, the vice president sees that the ground is shifting against Israel among voters, including with younger Republicans. He's responding accordingly with nuance instead of stridency. Do you take that as a warning that if Israel were to act alone, the Trump administration would withhold its backing?
Well, first of all, it concerns me that there's that element of anti-Israel, first of all, in the Democratic Party and in the woke right. I'm concerned with that, and to the extent that we can do something to mend it, obviously I'll do it. But I find that there's something unique about these attacks, and that something is that the people who hate Israel end up hating America. And I've seen that, when they do these, these demonstrations, these protests against Israel, against Israel defending itself, this tiny country defending itself against these terrorist murderers who commit to exterminate us. And we do what any self-respecting country would do. We defend ourselves. But when they do the protest, they burn Israeli flags, and very often right next to them, they burn American flags. But when those Americans who support Israel, non-Jews and Jews alike, when they do a demonstration to support Israel, they wave the Israeli flag and they wave the American flag. So I think there's a process taking place inside America, which you probably know better than me, of questioning America's traditional values and going to many places that I think challenge not only our alliance, but they challenge the traditional values that form the basis of each of our countries. And I hope that's not something that is going to proceed. I hope America changes direction. That's really what I hope to see.
And
oh my God, I just could not puke harder in my mouth. Yeah.
No, we're not changing directions. Look, he's cooked. It's just a matter of time for him specifically. He's cooked. He's on a timeline. Like his timeline for being cooked is coming up because Democrats are going to have to run against him because they're not going to be running against Israel. So it's got to be against him, which means his own people are going to hate him because they already hate him for not being more of a Nazi. And he's going to lose U.S. support, which they're going to hate him for even more.
Yep.
So,
although they just seem, I mean, because everybody running against him pretty much just wants to continue everything that he's doing
harder and faster, even
harder and faster. There was just, this death penalty for Palestinians that was passed, and now they want to televise the executions. That's the new plan. And, this is Ben-Gvir's plan, and he enjoys, enormous support in Israel. After passing 2 death penalty laws in 6 weeks, Israel's investing hundreds of millions of dollars to try to execute Palestinians on live TV. Unanimous support for the laws shows that Israeli society can unite around death to Palestinians. Last week we showed how they're building, the Board of Peace is building these concentration camps for people, for Palestinians who, or they won't call them Palestinians, of course, for Gazans who, aren't armed and want to dissociate from Hamas. This is what it looks like, just for people to see if they haven't already. This is a checkpoint in Hebron. This is what Palestinians face every day if they're lucky enough not to be slaughtered, raped to death, or dismembered. Checkpoint to get to work, to get to school, to get to the market. And this is what it's going to be like, concentration camps in Gaza as well. I wonder what's going to happen when this passes. Nobody's even talking about it. The Section 224, one is military and one's intelligence in our national defense budget, right? There are 2 different measures that they are trying to pass that would merge our military with Israel's, which also gives lie to all of these, like, block the bomb. We're not going to give Israel any more weapons because it won't matter. They'll be completely incorporated. Will that mean that our new directive will be the Hannibal directive? If we have hostages taken, military hostages, prisoners of war, will we just slaughter anybody who we think might be possibly at some point a terrorist. Like, what's that going to
Well, I
do
mean,
to our
the-
military? Yeah.
The only thing I know for sure is we're not going to make them more like us. Like everything that they've brought is worse than what we've got. And we've got a terribly racist police force already. We've got a military
Who trained with the
industrial
IDF?
complex
I mean, we were already good
hates
at being
brown
racist,
people.
but
Like,
yeah.
yeah, we were good at it all, but like nothing, if you see how they treat their protesters, if you see how they treat anyone dissenting in Israel, that's coming here.
Yep.
Right. That's the Flock Camera Project. That's Palantir. That's the incorporation of all these Zio tech bros into power.
Which makes the latest piece written by Hillary was right about everything Clinton even more barbaric, disgraceful, horrific.
If you play Clinton, I'm leaving our show.
I'm not.
I'm going to
gonna
leave
just-
you. I'll
I
be
know.
the first
No,
man
I'm
to
not.
leave our show.
Men are always walking out on strong women. In the Financial Times, the world may not like Trump's Gaza plan, but there is no alternative. Hillary was right about everything. Even if I, an implacable opponent of the president, can accept this as the best option, then surely others can too. And she talks about the crisis in Gaza will only deteriorate with Hamas retaining both political and practical influence over a devastated population through armed actors, local administrative structures, aid distribution networks, and access to basic goods and services, reconstruction frozen, investment absent, civilians trapped in dependency and despair with reportedly up to 1,000 killed since the ceasefire, reportedly. Fuck off. Another generation of children growing up amid rubble, fear, and hopelessness. There will be no security for Israel, no viable path to Palestinian self-determination. Gazans understand this as well as anyone. Without demilitarization and a transition away from Hamas rule, there will be no meaningful reconstruction, no realistic prospect that Israel will ever withdraw from the 60% of the Gaza Strip, it's now 80, it now controls, and no credible pathway towards a future led by Palestinians themselves. She is such a hateful, disgusting, genocidal piece of shit. Don't pretend you're any different from everybody else in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party and all the Israeli Nazis doing a genocide. That's who she is.
Yeah. Okay. If Gazans understand this more than anyone, no, that's why they're still fighting. That's why they've fought and stood their ground for
And Hamas's
decades.
numbers
They don't have a choice but to fight.
I don't even understand.
And what are you saying? You're saying I disagree with all this stuff that's happening, but hey, the blacks are going to be, they're arming themselves now. So we got to do something about the blacks. So Trump's plan is good to deal with the blacks.
And
that's what this comes down to. A race. It's race. I'm just trying to draw the racist.
No, I know. It's like it's all the same. Yeah.
It's just like, well, yeah, it's fucked for them because they've been oppressed for so long that they're going to be angry and always fighting. So we got to just put them in little. We got to make Trump and his buddies rich with these little homeless bunkers, basically.
Remember when Clinton was running for president and he was the governor of Arkansas, and he had, first of all, he had black prisoners were like their slaves on the plantation. And then he also gave a speech, oh God, like a historic mountain where, they had like put down slaves. They actually used slave labor. Remember how she treated the Black Lives Matter protesters at her in 2016?
Yeah, downstairs. Yeah.
But yeah, of course she supports Trump. Where's that two-state solution? Progress takes time. You got to be a pragmatic. Like, where's the two-state solution? When you have the leader of Israel who's been reelected millions of times, for however many decades now, has been in power, who says there'll never be a two-state solution, which there never has been anyway. And when you are still calling people fighting for their liberation, you call them the terrorists.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I wanted to show, because, oh God, there's just so many different things I want to show, actually. in the middle of this World Cup fiasco. I know we're about to do the flock stuff, but Israel just killed Palestinian football goalkeeper Qatar al-Ashqar, Salim Qatar al-Ashqar. They killed him a few days ago, and Israel still is allowed to play in the World Cup. They haven't been pushed out of FIFA. They're all gunning for Argentina, let me tell you. They love Argentina. His killing brings the number of Palestinian sports figures killed since the start of the genocide to 1,009, including 567 from the football community, according to the association, which has filed a complaint with FIFA seeking Israel's expulsion. Good luck.
Yeah, it's just so, here's the World Cup. Here's our 250. Here's our moment to show we're not absolute scumbags in every area. And we're just like, no, we're the evil fucks you thought we were. Israel is just as evil as you ever thought. And we don't give a fuck. And now they can come in, hey, have our intelligence. Let's fuse our militaries. Let's do that. And let's do it before the next election, because we know Democrats have to run against at least the war in Iran and, some of the stuff a little bit. So,
yeah.
So they're trying to maximize it all right now, which is why the next 6 months is when we need the maximum pressure on all this shit, because they'll have a little less power to make this stuff happen once politicians on both sides have to take a side and soften their views a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what's really going to happen, because it is so clear what the people want. And as long as voting is still allowed, the people who are running against the oligarchs and the genocide are going to win, as long as voting is fair.
I mean, that's why I think the latest thing in politics is they're not passing like a 5-year plan and then the bill's sunset. They're like, it's a permanent thing, So like
Right.
that's the new phase in politics, is like, let's get something that can't, and you can undo anything permanent, but it's way more difficult than most things have an expiration date. And then they design it now not to, because they know the politics won't support it in the future.
I totally agree, which is also why Palantir and all the AI stuff, like they've infiltrated
Maximum grab
into everything. So it's very difficult to extricate. I thought there were two different. I thought one was military and one was intelligence, but you might be totally right. I need to go back and look. But the fact that nobody's talking about it, like, it's traitorous. It's just like, why are we merging our military with anybody, especially when we know that Israel spies on our leaders and us all the time?
And the public so clearly doesn't want it. So like the Democrats can grab this anytime and just say, is this America first? That's all you need to do. Run that ad every day for a while. Is this America first? And no Republican could vote for it at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Quid pro quo for Trump not tossing Bill to the Epstein wolves. Yeah. I mean, all of it's that. Yeah. I think probably that's part of. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I've been thinking about that because Trump did the interview with Vance's wife.
Usha.
What's her name? Usha.
Yeah.
Kid's show was embarrassing. He read it from a children's book, was terrible.
Right.
But he talked about, presidents. And anyway, he got to Obama. He sort of insulted Obama, said, I don't know if he can even play basketball, whatever. Just silly Trump shit.
Right.
He's good at golf. But he said really nice things like, I've always liked Bill Clinton. And it's like, it's really weird now of all times to suddenly be making that connection stronger with him and Bill Clinton, because what do they have? They're both victims of this Exhume file, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Mutually assured destruction. They got it. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Truth Sensei didn't see the notification. Well, welcome. We still got a little bit to go, so we're glad you're here. I did just want to say before we spin and move to Flock that this makes me laugh, and a lot of people have been circulating it. It's Kamala, because she just called Mamdani. She's trying to get
Allegedly
the
spoke
Kingmaker.
with protesters too.
Oh yeah, sure. She's gonna, and so somebody put out this meme. Hello, fellow Democratic Socialists, because clearly she doesn't believe in a goddamn thing. She just kind of like swings whichever way the wind blows, and that's the Steve Buscemi character. What was that from? That's not
Kids
Napoleon.
show.
Is it Napoleon Dynamite? No, what was it from?
No. I think it was a kid's show, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Saved by
Somebody
the
help.
Bell or something?
No, it was a movie that he was in.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then, because I just wanted to see who that person was, here he is saying, this is the one country where this type of shit can't work. Europe doesn't have guns or personal defense. They submit to the authority of the state. Out here, we don't live like that. The idea Americans would just allow Islamists to walk in and take over the way they did in Europe is Islamist fan fiction. The second they cross a line, it's going to pop off like 1776. So like he's a total Islamophobe. Here's another thing. He quote tweets, the same people who cheered for John Wick killing dozens of people to avenge his dog are super mad about a vigilante killing Muslim rapist. So the guy who made that meme is gross. I just want everybody to know, maybe block out his name if you share that. Maybe he didn't make it, but that's the one. He's the one who's getting,
Gotcha.
Was
The
it
Steve
Paypal?
Buscemi meme is from 30 Rock. This is important stuff.
I don't think it is.
I looked it up. 30
Oh,
Rock.
you
It's from
did?
30 Rock.
All right. Well, Jason was right. Good job. And
Yeah,
my
but that
husband-
movie, the vigilante kills the kid of a guy. This Muslim kid got off for raping somebody, and because the justice system, let him off because he was Muslim and whatever,
Right.
This guy goes to his house and stacks up his whole family with his mom, his dad, his sister, and kills them all. So like, there's no empathy in any, like, it's just fuck it. These are brown people. Who gives a shit? It's just the most vapid, violent trash of a movie that ends with like, there's no moral debate even in the movie. In
Wait,
the end,
what are
he
you talking
convinces
about?
you just showed the still image from the movie.
Was that from John Wick?
No, that's from the new movie I was talking about, Vigilante.
Oh,
That's the vigilante
sorry.
guy.
I thought he was. Okay, got it. That's the guy. Who is that guy?
That's the guy.
Oh, that's the UA Bowl guy. Oh God, that's so funny that like we came to the same thing differently. That you were talking about this movie at the beginning, and this guy shares a meme from it. Got it. Okay,
Sorry. I figured.
I didn't know.
Since
Okay.
I watched it, I kind of thought everybody knew,
yeah,
but
sorry.
nobody knows what I'm talking about right now.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Got it. Okay. Anyway, I just, I'm always nervous about sharing anybody's anything. So I just always like want to take a quick look at the timeline. And when I did, I was like, no, thank you with him. But I still had to show that. And then, sorry, but David is telling us integrating intelligence. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Totally right. 622. And they changed the name of section 224 to 219. Totally right. Jeez. Gross. God damn it. Same. All right. We're going to spin before we get to Flock, right?
Do it.
Do it. We got some more Legos to show. What? Is the game rigged? What? Okay.
It's our new AI wheel.
I know, all of a sudden. We hate AI, but we make the little okay. This is another one. This is from Persia Boy, who's the other like main Lego Iranian Lego account. Although Bendeo just showed me or gave me links to another person. They're really good, but they're like 6 minutes long. So I need to go through this guy's YouTube page, but some of them are really great and just see if there's anything a little shorter because that's kind of long to show. But thank you for alerting us to that. Land of the Fee.
250 candles, big flag waving. But who got the keys? Land of the free, land of the free. Big flag waving, but it still ain't free. 250 candles, bend that knee. Who got the keys? Tel Aviv. Land of the free, land of the free. Fireworks loud, but the chains run deep. Trump says king, baby says please. Birthday party for the war machine. They lit the sky red, white, blue, then sign another war by noon. Big old cake, gold plated plate. Poor kids ship while the donors ate. Trump on stage with a paper crown. Talks real tough, the baby comes around. Back it says peace, but the checks still fly. Flag goes up while the truth walks by. Fireworks pop, lobbyists grin. Same old empire dressed up again. You say freedom, I say receipt. Land of the free, got a foreign seed. Land of the free, land of the free. Big flag waving, but it still ain't free. 250 candles, bend that knee. Who got the keys? Tel Aviv. Land of the free, land of the free. Fireworks loud, but the chains run deep. Trump says king, baby says please. Birthday party for the war machine. Rent too high, vets still broke, but bombs get funded before they vote. Schools need books, streets need care, but war gets cash from thin blue air. Independence with a leash on tight. Stars and stripes in a foreign fight. 250 years still selling the dream. Birthday cake for the war machine. Land of the free, land of the free. Big flag waving, but it still ain't free. 250 candles, bend that knee. Who got the keys? Tel Aviv. Land of the free, land of the free. Fireworks loud, but the chains run deep. Trump says king, baby says please. Birthday party for the war machine. Sacred defense. Happy birthday. Sacred defense.
Pretty good
stuff.
He comes out with them way faster. He also had one that I should have pulled, but about FIFA cheating and like taking back Iranian goals, or goals from the Iranian team. He put that out like a week ago, and then quote tweeted this article about Balogun's suspension being lifted. Like, wow,
this is
true.
Wild.
Fuller and Balogun is eligible to play against Belgium. FIFA sources had insisted U.S. soccer had no appeal. Sources say U.S. soccer did not attempt one as a result, but Trump did put in a call, apparently. And Balogun had spoken on Monday here in Seattle about missing the game, telling us, I have to accept it. Yet, FIFA has decided to hand Balogun a suspended one-game ban, which is in their powers as per Article 27. The red card stands, but Balogun is free to play. Oh, and guess what? Cristiano Ronaldo also given a suspended ban before the tournament, allowing him to play Portugal's opening World Cup games. Crazy how that happened.
Yeah, so if you're not following that, he's our top striker. He's our top guy. He got a red card in the last game, which means you can't play the next, which really hurts our chances. And good old FIFA that's been sucking Trump's taint for fucking a year now, gave him the World Peace Prize, is going to let it go.
And millions of dollars to the Board of Peace, complicit in genocide, and won't suspend Israel. Yep.
And you know what I don't know how into the weeds you want to get, but soccer, like, they don't have breaks. They just have
halftime.
Halfway through the game, they have halftime, right? So they play two halves. There's a video of Cristiano Ronaldo. No, not Cristiano Ronaldo, the other Ronaldo. Anyway, back in the day, saying when the U.S. has the World Cup, watch, they'll break it into quarters for more commercials. And it's the first time ever that water breaks have started getting integrated. It was this year, but in soccer, they started integrating basically a quarter water break for the players, which you need in some climates. It's probably a good thing.
Right.
But yeah, we've got good old commercial USA now. Soccer, we're just like, soccer now has quarters, basically, so we can show some commercials.
I saw one of the refs like holding up his hand because they were about to start, and he's like, no, the commercial break's still on. We gotta wait. Yeah. All right. So I know we are all, we've seen all these flock cameras that are reading our license plates, gathering information. If you or anybody in the car has your Bluetooth on, it can track everything that your Bluetooth is connected to. It can track where you go. It can get all that information so they can say you're a terrorist who did a crime and come arrest you. Pat, you know what's so funny? You have that light on your head again that looks like the
sniper.
Mossad. Yeah, the sniper's at you. So this is a crazy story. where they just admit when they come to her door, this woman's door, cameras are everywhere. We see you everywhere you go. And they arrested her for a crime.
We have cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
Chrishana Elzer learned the power of Flock firsthand.
You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly. Like I said, nothing gets in or out of the town without us knowing.
When a Colorado police officer showed up at her door holding Flock snapshots of her truck.
And here's when you left at 12:09. That's when you left town.
To get.
No, to stop at Ridge Trail.
Wait a minute.
And take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't need to be.
I need to know where this is.
The first thing he pulled out on the body cam is that Flock picture, the clear photograph of your car.
But here's your vehicle in the neighborhood many, many times, apparently casing houses, because you just can't drive through for work or visit other businesses. You can only be casing houses.
It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure. 100%. It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to court.
Chrishana was charged with stealing a package, but it wasn't her. The porch pirate was somebody else.
Multiple times you tried to show him your video evidence. He didn't want to see it.
No, even when I called him back, he said, that's not my job.
You looked at a time of a crime. You saw my vehicle entering in the Flock.
No, what I did was I did an investigation.
You called my wife a liar. You said this is fact.
I have video evidence. I don't know what you want me to say.
The charges were dropped after Chrishana spent weeks trying to get the police chief to look at her evidence. Time-stamped video from her truck and a neighbor's doorbell camera showing she wasn't at the scene of the crime.
What does it say about where we are that you feel you have to have more cameras than the police have in order to make sure you can prove yourself innocent?
It sounds like it flipped the script to you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Without a Flock camera, that detective would not have been at her door. By his own admission, he pulled out the Flock picture of her car. Do you want to apologize to Chrishana Elzer for what happened to her?
For the police misusing the tools? I don't think that I have to apologize for him.
He wasn't charged with a crime. He wasn't, other than being reprimanded for his attitude.
Sure. No, but I would tell you that, should I apologize for somebody misusing a tool? I don't think so.
Flock Safety Chief Communications Officer Josh Thomas.
Who's watching the watchers in these cases?
Well, the city council. The city owns the data, so city council would have the appropriate responsibility in that case. Our point of view has always been that it is not Flock's job to police the way police do their work.
I didn't vote for this. Did
Nobody
we get a
did.
say in any of this?
No, of course not. If we have a say, we're in mass cutting these fucking things down.
Yes, some of us are.
And I don't know. You could shine a green laser into them apparently, and that does some damage. And
yep,
there's lots of ways that I don't recommend unless we're talking parody. There's some funny things I've heard about how to damage them.
Truth Sensei is saying never shine green laser or use wasp spray or paint spray on Flock cameras as they may destroy the sensitive digital sensors. And this lovely person is also just wanting to let us know all the things that we shouldn't do.
Leave Flock cameras alone. There's no need to label all the Flock cameras in your area. And don't put plastic bags over them either, because all that does is cost the company time and money. Grow up. I know that you can use a $50 high-powered blue or green laser like this one to permanently blind Flock cameras, but come on, guys. Why? Definitely do not use the camera map on dflock.org to find cameras, approach them from behind on foot with a spray paint extender, and spray them. And if you do that, at least make sure that you have your phone in your pocket so we can identify you using the Bluetooth and 5G. There is no reason to spend $20 on a hard hat and high visibility vest and then buy a $30 Sawzall with diamond tip blades to cut down the entire pole. That's because the cameras and solar panels are clamped with a simple 8mm socket, so you're just doing too much. The cameras have about 12 hours of backup battery, so they will be transmitting Bluetooth and 5G that we can use to track you. So under no circumstances should you put the camera inside of a Faraday bag while the battery runs itself out and then break them down for parts, because that would prevent us from finding you, and nobody wants that. If you do any of these things, it's important that you do not buy a pair of Vader facial recognition blocking glasses, because then it would be impossible for us to identify you and charge you with a class 4 misdemeanor, which is typically just community service or a small fine. And for the love of God, do not attend your city council meetings and demand that they cancel your city's flock contract. We need these cameras. Peter Thiel is a benevolent overlord, and we should all be grateful that he loves us enough to keep us safe. Grow up.
Yeah.
And also, every time any of these people opens his mouth, they are so horrifyingly, first of all, on some drug, and also anti-human. Like, they're just the most horrific group of people.
Yeah. I mean, look at the spokesperson they put out. That guy's job is the PR guy. Like,
yeah,
it shows you the villains in charge think this is the most relatable guy we could find. So their judgment
Alex
at least
Karp
is terrible.
and Peter Thiel.
And look, if you're thinking of doing comedy, but you should definitely also wear a big robe. And these things track the facial recognition. The glasses won't do it alone necessarily. So you want to also puff up your clothes, make your body a different shape. You should walk differently than you normally do to them, because they now have, beyond facial recognition, they watch your pacing, so they can match your pacing to how you walk. It's insane.
And then
levels
they'll
they will
still be
go
wrong.
to find you.
Like, they'll still be
Right.
wrong and arrest the wrong lady, but you want to throw them off the scent as much as possible if that's your thing.
If you're into that.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting about Scientology. Like, the way when I first got to LA, I was in an acting class that had a lot of Scientologists, and it's really seductive on some level. And then it's terrifying. And then you can't get out. It's really terrifying. And part of the thing that they do is, in this like sort of open environment, they try to get your deepest secrets that then they hold over you. And I'm just now putting together how much of a Mossad Epstein thing that is, which is just really interesting because, of course, that's like a big Tom Cruise and all the other people. Yeah.
It's such a hustle. I had a good friend that was in Scientology, and he was always on the verge of breaking with his family, but it's like you're either in or out. So if you disagreed on that, even though you're in the family, you're out. And like he had an actual drinking problem, because I met him. He was a bartender he managed a bar that I went to play pool all the time. But he had stacks of unopened videos that were supposed to cure his alcoholism, and they're all about thetans and bullshit, and
they all
cost like $75 a video. It's just a fucking scam.
It's a money scam, yeah. And the higher up you get, it's because you're able to give them more money or take more expensive classes. And the thing is, Dianetics. The thing is some of the things that they say, like any good cult or religion or philosophy, like some of it's true and some of it feels really inspiring, like about how hard you need to work and the things you need to do, especially as like actors who are, new out here and like, but then it's just completely manipulative. It is a money scam. And it's also like a time cult scam. Like, suppressive person. An SP. Yeah. And if anybody has any negativity at all about what you're doing, you're supposed to just like dissociate from them. I mean, it's so much of the way everything happens in politics also. Like, if you say, hey, we should send diplomats to talk to Putin, then you're either a terrorist, you're either with us or you're against them. Don't let the terrorists win. It's all of that, just like black and white mentality of the in-group, the out-group, and the cult of power. It's really crazy.
Scary.
Anyway, those flock cameras, the constant surveillance, all of your home devices, those Bluetooth things, like smash those.
No, it's all connected. And they have, I said this before, I think, but they have ones that are just microphones also. And the microphone ones are allegedly triangulating position of gunshots, but they also are trained to pick up distress calls. But they're just microphones, period. Really.
Right.
Everywhere.
I mean, every time I look at my phone and it has like either a green or an orange dot. So it's either watching or listening all the time. Unless you're on sleep mode. Yeah. It is really, really terrifying. That's the model. And, Larry Ellison said it 2 years ago. We played that clip of him saying, like, we want surveillance everywhere because then, everyone will be on his best behavior. And, it's a deep fear. I'm not excusing it, but like the deep fear of somebody at some point maybe doing something harmful, right? It's Minority Report. It's Israel with Palestinians.
Yeah.
Like
and it is sort of like if you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be afraid of this stuff. Kind of that's how they've taught people to think.
Right.
And sort of learn helplessness too, because like, well, you already know where I am with my phone, so cameras are just going to keep us safe. But they're not. They're going to track us protesting them. And it's happening now. It's not abstract. They're doing it. They're using these powers already as we're expanding those powers for them.
Yeah, they're just criminalizing existence, actually. I mean, that's really where it is. Do you fear the communists? That's also, all of it. Like, it's McCarthyism, it's surveillance, it's pre-crime. I mean, it's really everything that we've been warned against. Every movie, every dystopian book, all have now converged. Like, they were templates for how the worst people in the world should manage all of us. And I know it. I know so much of this, of course, predates Israel and Palestine, but the modern version, it's very clear to see that Gaza is the laboratory where they're testing all of this out on a population that has been so abused and dominated, and the cruelty, and they tested it all there. They brag. That's part of their selling pitch when they're selling their new technology, is that it already worked here in Gaza. And
it already worked at a 90% fail rate for targets. That's how successful it was.
Like Obama's drones, actually, 90% civilian death rate. So yeah, I mean, it didn't start with Israel and Biden and Trump, of course, but it is really like at its pinnacle right now. And it's moving so quickly and without any input from any of us. And they are shutting down our ability to have input. I just watched a 14-year-old get arrested, like manhandled, violently taken out of a town hall for talking about data centers. None of us voted for data centers. Now we've got, massive heat fronts coming all across our country and, of course, the whole world. And we're being told to set your AC to 78 degrees and, don't have so much water. What's his name? The Jeff Bezos said that human water consumption is bad for his data center ability,
Aww.
But the fact that he could even say that out loud, what did he say? Human water consumption is limiting AI's potential. So yeah, we just need a lot of Luigis. We manja. It's like, that is all because we cannot vote our way out of this fast enough. It's not going to happen fast enough.
No, but it is encouraging seeing, we're fighting back against Flock and the data centers and all that stuff. And that's on a local level.
Yep.
You got local politicians in your neighborhood that approved this stuff or doing it without your input. Your input is getting managed. It's not, none of this shit's on the ballot anywhere. It's just happening.
Yep.
So we need to make it unhappen. And that's a win. And wins are contagious.
They are contagious, and courage is contagious. Because honestly, like, it's terrifying to have some thug come towards you and tell you to, you know, turn around and leave and try to take your stuff. And then to have like the cheers that we showed with the woman with her Palestine flag and her sign about what Israel has done to Palestinians. And then to see like all of the other people around her start chanting Free Palestine in solidarity with her and with Palestinians. Like, that is, we are the ones who are going to save us. It will not be, obviously, you know, any of the people who pretend to be public servants.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Anything?
I think it's time, because our OGT one good thing is related to the flock cameras. So we should just tie it in.
Okay.
This is by what's his name? Oh, the Urban Appalachian.
Yeah, this is
I just
fun.
put his music over some footage of people being hilariously funny with the flock cameras.
All right. Keep punching up. Love you guys. Thank you. We'll see you Wednesday. Cheers.
Let's hunt down and kidnap Peter Thiel. Blow up his AI robots just so we can seal the deal. Take him to a dollar store in Gary, Indiana. Make him work a whole shift. He'll be crying for his nana. Let's hunt down and kidnap Peter Thiel. Let's hunt down and kidnap Peter Thiel. Blow up his AI robots just so we can seal the deal. Take him to a dollar store in Gary, Indiana. Make him work a whole shift. He'll be crying for his nana. Let's hunt down and kidnap Peter Thiel. Let's hunt down and kidnap Peter Thiel.
I got home